And we're back with another movie review. This time it's a movie called The Island. When his brother is killed, LAP officer Mark leaves the city to return to the island that he grew up on. Seeking answers and ultimately vengeance, he soon finds himself in a bloody battle with the corrupt tycoon who has taken over the island. So we have Michael J. White in another straight-to-VOD movie, but it's Michael J. White, so I guess I'll tolerate it. The one thing that I find really funny in this film is Michael J. White's accent. I mean, he's going for like an island kind of Jamaican Caribbean accent, and I just gotta say, it's not working for your boy. It's not really working. He goes in and out of the accent. I find it hilarious. I mean, the accent's not totally bad, but there's parts where he just is like straight no accent. No accent, and then he'll just come across some islanders and he's like, okay, gotta put on my best Jamaican, man. But I think the main thing with this movie, the main bad point, is that the story's really generic, and I'm not opposed to generic stories. Most of my favorite movies have generic plot points. It's kind of hard to get away from some generic-y. We're just going to make that a word. There's going to be some aspects that have been taken from other films, other story, other media, and then they try to make it their own. But in this movie, they're trying to go for that early 90s, late 80s type of action film. But when you want to do something like that, you got to have action. And this movie really doesn't have that. You also got to have a really intriguing villain. And I think that the villain in here, played by Edoardo Costa, is not really a good one. And they initially try to paint him as like a really ruthless dictator kind of type of villain. And he's like, if you do something wrong, I'm gonna kill you. And they showed that. And I was like, okay, this guy, he doesn't take no shit. If you do something wrong, you're done. But he does that a lot. Every time somebody messes up, one of his henchmen mess up, he kills them. One of his henchmen, forgets to do something, he kills them. One of his henchmen puts butter on his toast when he doesn't like it, he kills them. So he's just like killing people at such a high rate, and when that's pretty much all we see him do in the film, for me at least, I don't know, call me crazy, it kind of diminishes his character and kind of just puts him in like a even bigger generic box than he already is. And with this being a straight to VOD film, you don't have that much locations and areas to film at, so we find ourselves revisiting the same locations multiple times in this film. And I gotta say, you feel it. You can totally tell that we're going to the same locations multiple times, because you'll just have Michael J. White, he'll go to this one scene, then we'll go to this other scene, then he'll go back to the other scene, then he'll go back to the other scene, and it kind of is like a rinse and repeat. And again, I understand that there's not a lot of, money going around with this film, these kind of films, but I don't know. I feel like you can kind of change each location to make it seem a little bit different so that the audience can feel like we're kind of progressing in the film, where I feel like when we go back and forth between these locations, it kind of just makes the film feel kind of stagnant. There's also a scene in here that I thought was pretty cringe. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but you have Michael J. White and you have his real life wife who's playing his ex-wife in this film. Wonder how that worked. Gillian White, and I don't know how I feel about this scene because I don't know their past. I don't know what they have gone through as a family. I don't know anything about that, but they're talking about a child that they had between them and what happened to that child, and I just found it very out of nowhere, just kind of randomly. They hinted at it a little bit in the film, but the part that we were at in this film where this conversation happens is kind of makes me feel kind of weird. I don't know. I didn't like it. Overall, guys, I feel like The Island, it is what it is. It's there. It's an action movie. Michael J. White. If you like Michael J. White, he's in here. He's doing his thing. He's trying to be cool, which granted, he is cool, but it just doesn't really work most of the time. There's a lot of generic stuff, when it comes to the villain, when it comes to the story. Not enough action. If you want to be a late 90s throwback action film, you're not going to get it in this one. But of course, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Did you like this film? Are you interested in seeing this film? what are your thoughts on Michael J. White acting in movies with his wife? Because I looked at his filmography and I looked at her filmography and I was like, dang, you guys are just working together a lot. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. It depends on how strong your relationship is, I guess. But as always, guys, don't forget to check out my Twitter so you stay up to date with my channel. Don't forget to check out my Letterboxd. I post reviews on there all the time, and it's all about movies. And of course, like and subscribe, because we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and I'm really excited for that. But this has been a VOD review. I'm Anthony, and you know what to do. Keep watching movies.